Hi guys, and welcome back to episode 3 of Hashtag Through a Different Lens. And on this episode I will be talking about pain medication, my plans for the rest of the year, what projects I'm going to be uploading, different things that I'm going to be discussing, and I would love to share it with you all. So after this video, if you could give it a share or a like or subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. So, pain. I wanted to speak about pain and chronic pain and medication, because medication can be a good thing for some people, it can be a bad thing for some people. Some people will even refuse to take medication flat out. For me, I've had chronic pain my whole life. It's not something that I'm not aware of. I've suffered probably since a very, very young age. When I was 14 and I had the back operation, that's when pain really started to affect my life. It affected my mood, it affected who I was. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd feel pain straight away, nothing else. That would be the first thing that would come into my brain, is how am I going to get through the day with this pain? As the years went on, I started to realise that it was part of who I was. The medication will probably be a part of my life for the rest of my life. It will be for the foreseeable future. I will wake up, I will take pain medication. Before I go to bed, I will take pain medication, and then that's me. That's my life. To be honest, I shouldn't have really had to have got used to it. But there's numerous conditions out there that affect people's bodies in a way where they are left with chronic pain on a day-to-day basis. It's not something that's easy to deal with. A lot of people that don't suffer with chronic pain don't understand it. They don't see why this person is okay 1 minute and then the next minute they are suffering from a lot of pain. They're needing to take medications. That people don't understand how addictive some pain meds can be. I've been there. I've been on numerous medications that have worked for me in the beginning, and as soon as they don't work and they want to change them, I have to go through a state of withdrawing myself from these medications, which it's not pretty. It's not. Like, sometimes I wish I'd never started taking the medication that I'm on. It has sometimes destroyed my life. I'd wake up and I'd take it and I wouldn't be able to do anything that day. But I need to take it because I'm in a lot of pain. And that's not something I don't think I will ever come to terms with. I wake up and I think, right, I'm going to do this today, and I'm going to help my partner, and I'm going to try and live a little bit normal. And suddenly I'm hit with this pain, and I can't focus. I can't do anything. All I can do is just sit there. And it doesn't even help just sitting there, because I'm still in pain even though I'm just sitting there. And knowing that I'm going to have to be taking medication for the rest of my life is something that I'm struggling with as a person, because I don't want to be taking these pain medications. And I have tried physiotherapy, I have tried mindfulness, I have tried cannabis, which for a while it helped, but in the long run it affected my mental health, so it was something that I had to put a stop to. I have struggled with pain, but also with the medication side of things, because where it's such a part of my life, I'm having to come to terms with stopping and starting medications. Some might help, some might not. I might be on some for 6 to 8 months, and then suddenly they want to stop them and try me on something new. But I can't stop them straight away, because there's a state of withdrawal that can also be fatal in itself, and I have to then withdraw slowly over a period of time. So yeah, like something that is supposed to help a person with chronic pain can also be a hindrance. I've found it a hindrance majority of the time, but I can't not take them. I can't. Like it's something that I do not know where I would be without them. Don't get me wrong. I don't. If I'm in this much pain now with them, I dread to think how much pain I would be in without them. So yeah, they can be helpful at times, but yeah, they can affect a person's life. Once you're addicted to something, it's tough to come off of it. It's like any drug. It's hard. And but the difference is we don't want to be taking these medications, and it's not through choice really. We have to take them because we're in pain, but taking them can also affect mental health. It can affect your life, where you'll wake up, you take them, and you can't do anything that day, or like you can't drink with them. So socializing is off the mark. You can't do it, and yeah, like it can be really really hard because you're supposed to be taking something that can help, and for me, it doesn't. I noticed that when I was on a higher dose, some doctors would just be like, right, take that, take that, take that. And then I will see another doctor and they'll be like, no, like it will work on a lower dose. So, for instance, the MST is a 24-hour release morphine. I will take it, and every hour it will give me a little bit of relief. And I was on a crazy amount a day. And then I came to Newcastle and I reduced it to a lower dose. And I know it sounds crazy, but it did help my pain more. That's the thing with that type of medication. Some people are over medicated, and then that can, in the long run, be harder to come off and also be ineffective. It won't help. I found that reducing has definitely helped my pain a lot. I've had numerous hospital admissions where I'd go in for a couple of weeks and they will sort my pain out. I'll be on a morphine drip, and I will press the button whenever I want. And then the problem is that yeah, it gets it under control, but then you come out of hospital and you're back to square one again. And so yeah, I just wanted to touch on that, the pain side of things and the medications. And there's a lot of people out there that just take these medications and think that that's the only thing that's going to help, but less is sometimes more. I found that reducing all of my medications worked a hell of a lot better for me. With the pregabalin, it's a nerve drug, so I take it for nerve pain, and it is very effective for me. I've tried the amitriptylines, the gabapentins, all of that. I didn't really find any relief from any of them. I get pain literally everywhere in my body, in my shoulders, in my back, in my neck. My hips and my legs are literally awful. I would do anything. I would literally have my arm cut off if I could just have an hour without pain. That's my hips and my legs literally sometimes feel like I've been run over by a truck, and I will just try and walk, but every step I could fall. And if I fall on the floor, I can't get back up. That's the sort of position that I get myself into, is that I push and I push, and in the long run, I set myself up for more failure, because if I fall on the floor, I can't get back up. I haven't got the strength in my arms or my legs to get myself back up, which can also be embarrassing, and it makes me anxious sometimes to walk. Like just a step, something that people take for granted. I sometimes can't take a step without my leg giving way, and I have a lot of falls, and they are getting progressively worse as my illness progresses. And yeah, it's hard. Like it really is. I wanted to also mention the side effects to some drugs. With the morphine, I get dizzy spells, I get itchy skin, I get tired, and everything feels like I'm in slow motion. and I get sickness as well. That's something that I have to take with the good, because it does help my back pain slightly. It doesn't help anything else, but it helps my back pain a little bit, and that can be sometimes the only relief that I need. I know that I'm going to get pain everywhere else. It's part of my disability. I've got muscular dystrophy. That's not going to change. It's probably only going to get worse as the years go on. But it's something that I've come to terms with now, and chronic pain is part of me. It's part of who I am as a person, and I've come to terms with that. However hard it was, I come to terms with it, because that is something that's going to stay with me for the rest of my life, and I have to. If I don't come to terms with it, then I will let it take over and ruin my life. And I'm not saying that it doesn't ruin my life, because even now, accepting it, I'm still struggling. I still wake up some days and I don't know why I'm in so much pain. And even the wrong movement can set off a pain that I've never felt before. It can be so excruciating that I can't think of nothing else. I could be watching a program that I like, but I can't concentrate on it because all I can think about is the pain that I'm in. Another thing that complicates things with my muscular dystrophy is that I am waiting for gallbladder surgery. I've been waiting for 18 months, maybe even a little bit longer, for this gallbladder to be taken out. It is full to the brim with gallstones, so I can't even have them lasered out. And I have been on oral morph as a breakthrough medication for that amount of time. COVID obviously messed everything up, but the main thing is that I can't have a surgery unless I have a full MOT. And with this new diagnosis of the MHY7 gene, they do not want to open me up without a neurology team on standby and without an echo of my heart, which is great, it's fantastic. But having to wait 8 to 9 months for an echo on my heart has probably caused me to become quite reliant on pain medication. Every time I eat, I'm in excruciating pain with my stomach, and I'm swollen, and I feel bloated all of the time. And now it's getting to the point where it doesn't matter what I eat, it will set it off. So that is another complication, because I've been admitted numerous times with sepsis, and that is because a gallstone gets stuck in my bile duct and it causes infection to go around my body. I've been admitted numerous times, and the surgeons on that ward round would love to take it out there and then. But because of the complex issues with my disability, I can't even have a normal surgery. So that's more pain I have to put up with. And I understand COVID has hit everybody hard, especially the NHS. And that is another thing what I would like to campaign about. There is not enough support for the NHS for mental health services. And I think if there was, I probably wouldn't be reliant on an addictive medication now to get through the day, because I probably would have had my surgery by now. Which is hard to come to terms with, because I probably should have had this out 18 months ago. But instead I have to put up with constant infections, pain, every time I eat, sometimes when I drink even. It's getting ridiculous. And I just really want it nipped out, like I really do. So having a complex disability can also affect just normal things that pop up. I'm not like a normal case. I'm complex apparently, and having an echo is something that is needed before every normal surgery. I needed it when I needed my appendix out. I needed it with other surgeries. So yeah, it can be really fucking tiring. Like there's many of times where I just think, oh, again, just take it out, and they're like, no, like we need this on standby and that done and this, and it's just I understand that they're trying to be safe, but I think there need to be different protocols. I shouldn't have had to have waited 18 months on a strong painkiller, waiting for a surgery because they're overworked. And that's down to the government. Like, that's nothing to do with the NHS. So there's all of these people out there that are suffering. I'm one of them. And that's because there's not enough support for people going through complex issues. At the end of the day, if the government put in more funding and helped the NHS a little bit more, there wouldn't be people like me waiting 18 months to have their gallbladder out. Something that I've needed for a long time. And I've then become reliant on pain medication, which is not something that you want to be on. Like, I worked really hard a few years back to come off of that, and now I'm back on it again. So you can understand the point of this video, trying to explain how detrimental certain pain medication can be. If I'm okay that day and I don't need to take it and I forget to take it, it's like, whoa, I suffer withdrawal symptoms. And that's what is hard to come to terms with. Because if I was just a normal person without a disability, I would have had the surgery and I would probably be feeling a lot better now. That's just something I wanted to cross on. But these are a few of my plans that I would like to do by the end of the year. I would like to write a letter to number 10. I would like to get more support for the NHS, more support for people on waiting lists, more funding, because there's money going missing somewhere and it definitely isn't going to the NHS. I would love to join a charity representing muscular dystrophy. That is another one of my wishes. It doesn't have to actually be muscular dystrophy, it could be anything in that area or mental health, but that is one of my dreams. I would love to join a charity that's representing people like me. Sorry. I would also like to raise money for that said charity, because we all know that a lot of these charities are lacking funding and support from the government. So these are the sort of charities that help people like me and like others to get the support to get done what they need done. I would love to also take on a volunteer position with either that charity, a different charity, my own scheme. I would love to set up something where I am supporting people in the community and getting them the things that they need, to basically be a voice for the people that don't have one. I would like to campaign for extra funds for mental health. This is something that is absolutely huge to me, because I've suffered really, really bad with my mental health at times. Being in chronic pain every day is so hard, and if it wasn't for certain support in the community for my mental health, I probably wouldn't be here. And I understand that all of these plans are huge and I might not even be able to do one, but I'm entitled to have a list and I'm going to try and fulfill it. I would like to write a letter to all of the supermarkets asking them to rethink their disability policies, because I don't think they've designed them for people in wheelchairs, scooters. If you go on my TikTok at Dynamic Media 25, you will see videos while I'm out and I'm struggling, and curbs and supermarkets and where they put their products and things like that. I would love for them to be at, say, this sort of height, so everybody in a wheelchair can just get everything they need on one level, and people that are able-bodied would be able to get one on the higher level. That is something that I think would be an awesome plan. I don't know why it's not in place, but I think that I could possibly do something in that area. I would also like to try and raise, this is important and this is the whole point of my video, to try and raise awareness of the good and bad sides of pain medication. Because people take a pain medication thinking that it's good. They take this drug and they think that it's going to help them and solve all of their problems. But a lot of these drugs have serious side effects. They also have addictive traits that affect people's mood, it affects people's personality. It can help pain, but it can also take away other parts of that person. And I don't think that a lot of people out there taking these pain medications know how serious complications with them can be. Like, it's serious. Like, I've suffered at the hands of that. I didn't realise what these drugs were like when I was taking them, and coming off of them was the hardest thing, hands down, that I've ever had to do alongside my back operation. It is definitely one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And certain doctors out there, that I'm not saying that they're bad doctors, I'm saying that it's easy to palm somebody off with a pain medication without explaining the serious complications that come with taking it. It's like they'll go back to the GP saying it's not working, they'll up it, they'll give them a higher dose, which for me, I don't think that that is the right way to go about things. I'm not a GP, I'm not a nurse, I'm somebody that's been there and lived that life, and I know a lot about it. And I have been there as that patient that has been so desperate for help, that has been willing to take anything. So I think there need to be more support in that area, maybe a bit more understanding in that area. Doctors need to be explaining the complications, not just upping the milligram. They need to explain to this patient before they take a medication what it is going to do to them. And some doctors do it, which I rate them. Like, I really rate them. But there is people out there that are taking a medication thinking it's going to help them, but in a year's time they're going to be addicted to it, and the doctor might want to change it, and suddenly they are having to go through withdrawal symptoms, which is, you're basically a drug addict. So it's hard. Like, I don't want to come across as if I'm saying that pain medication is awful and like it doesn't help people, because it does. I'm taking it now. But I just think there needs to be a bit more awareness, really, for pain medication. And the reason why I have called this video Where It All Began Part 2 is because I've explained where I've been since I was young and how it all happened, about my diagnosis, but I haven't gone into details about the side where I got support and I got help. I got sometimes the right pain medication, but sometimes I didn't. I got physiotherapy, it didn't work. So I've had all of the other things that a doctor will give you other than pain medication, and I wanted to just put it out there because I think it's important that people know the risks when they take a pain medication. So if you want more information on this, you can send me a message, drop me a comment. I'll be happy to discuss it with you, go through the medication that you're taking, explain a little bit what my experience was like maybe taking it. I have probably took every medication that is out there over the past 10 years, to be honest. I've tried everything, literally everything. So there probably isn't something that I haven't tried. So feel free to drop me a message. I'm always available to speak, and I would love to support some of you with your journey, because that is the whole reason why I'm doing this project. I understand that some of my list of plans can be probably a bit overwhelming and a bit crazy, like, oh, this person's not going to be able to do it. But you know what? I'm going to try it, and that's all I want to do. On my next episode, I'm going to be discussing and showing you my appointment with the heart doctor, having my echo done. I will be filming it in the room, some of the stuff on the screens and some of the chats that we're having, and obviously discussing more about mental health, I think, because mental health and disability come hand in hand, and I'd like to express a bit more about my journey over the past God knows how many years. It feels like a lifetime, but yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for listening, watching till from beginning to the end. Honestly, it means the world to me, and yeah, like I'm so grateful. You guys are absolutely awesome. So I just wanted to say thank you, and yeah, follow me on my journey, because honestly, it is going to get so much better. It is. Like, I'm just explaining things at the moment and going into a little bit of detail about certain things, but yeah, I'm going to be making a difference hopefully. So thank you for watching, and please hit a like or dislike, because you might not like it either. Subscribe, give it a share. I'd really appreciate it. If you see me on TikTok, it's Dynamic Media at 25. That I will be sharing things every single day. Instagram, hashtag through a different lens, all one word. Give me a follow. It will mean the world to me. Thank you so much.